Welcome everybody back to Curse of Strahd, the darkness that surrounds us, our Curse of Strahd game. To catch everybody up on where you are, you all have been pulled into the Kingdom of Barovia, a strange world that you don't recognize that seemingly has been locked away, unable to escape, and trapped in this kingdom of terror where all of the denizens are terrorized by a dark lord that looms over from Castle Ravenloft looking over them. You initially traveled looking for missing children that were being kidnapped, that locals reported as werewolves for the Duchess of Daggerford, finding yourselves following the trail deeper and deeper into the woods until you came upon this strange land. You found the village of Barovia itself, where you learned that the entire land was named Barovia, learning that this was a place unfamiliar to most of you. You encountered, your first encounter in this land was with a strange cursed house with undead children and cult-worshipping ghosts. You further learned of a young woman who had been beseeched by the Dark Lord of the land, one Count Strahd von Zarevich. Arina Kolanya, the daughter of the mayor of Barovia, or burgomaster, had been haunted by the vampire. You learned this from her brother Ismark, who you met in the local tavern as you sort of wandered your way through looking for the missing children. Ismark begged you to help him and to help his sister escape the vampire's wrath by taking her out of the village of Barovia to a place of safety, the only place he could think of, the nearby walled village of Vallaki. Arina agreed to travel with you if you would help her bury her recently deceased father, finding her in the house that had been surrounded by wolf scratches and the destruction of dark forces that had encircled it repeatedly. You had learned she had been twice bit by the vampire. The local priest, whose son had apparently been turned into a vampire spawn himself after he had rebelled against the count's rule, agreed to help bury the bodies of both his son and the burgomaster after you dispatched of the vampire child that he had kept locked in the basement, unable to do the deed himself. Burying them at sunlight in honor of the Morning Lord, who seems to not answer prayers, he told you that he thought the safest place for Arina would be the abbey of the city of Krezik, where the monks in the abbey would be able to help take care of her. You traveled forth to Vallaki, along your way having encounters with some of the undead creatures that haunt this very land before making your way to the Vistani camp on the outskirts of town, where you met Madame Ava, who read your fortune and told you what your future would be in answer to how do you free yourself from this dark land and its oppressive misery. Still having no idea why Strahd fancies Irina so much, you took her with you, eventually making your way past a windmill. In fact, the very windmill where evil women had been torturing one of your companions, who had crossed them as they were selling pastries apparently made out of children's bones that intoxicate the users and allow them at least temporary escape in their dreams. Bagamo, finally having achieved rest, you've made your way to the city of Vallaki, deciding not to confront the haggish women who were engaging in such tortures, but rather to try to find out more about the city itself. You there you went to the local church, and you met the father there, Lucian Petrovich, at St. Andrew's Church. After confiding in him that you were some holy people and seeking help for your psychically wounded friend Bagamo, he told you he feared greatly because the bones of St. Andral had been stolen. He worried that the local grave digger boy had been involved in the theft because the altar boy Yiska had told him that he had told the grave digger about the relic and begged you to help potentially return them. You learned that not all is as well as it seems in the city of Vallaki. The town surrounded by wolves' heads on pikes and dour people, some of which locked in stocks in the center of the town with signs posted around saying all is well. The burgomaster of town having apparently one festival after another to maintain happiness that he apparently believes keeps the darkness at bay. Anyone that protests, you learned, including a man by the name of Udo, after speaking with his mother at one of the church services, is locked away, imprisoned, and potentially tortured. You made your way eventually to the local inn, trying to find out more, the Blue Water Inn, only to find the roof of the inn covered with strange ravens that appeared to be watching you. Urgoth, realizing that these are not ordinary ravens in any sense. You went in and spoke with the barkeep, and he, after being served, he confided in you that the wine supplies were running low and that he had not received his latest shipment. He offered potential aid if you were willing to figure out why the wine had not arrived. And that's probably a pretty poor summary, but it's the best that I've got off the top of my dome.
That's a good one.
So that's where we'll take you all now. You find yourselves it is evening time. You are at the Blue Water Inn. Allow me to set the audio scenery of the Blue Water Inn. And I'll bring you there now. Well, I'll bring you there in just a moment. What is everybody doing at this time? As it's evening time. I can't remember where we left off with what you guys were doing.
Can we all have a chat about what we might want to do?
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. I'm going to put your characters in the inn here. You all in the bar area, the tap room.
Perfect.
So you're in the tap room. There were a couple of thuggish guys in the room. You had looked around for, realizing that you were being followed. Some of you had, you actually attempted to hire the gravedigger boy.
Oh, we hired him
to figure out who had followed you.
We hired him. He may not know what he's been hired to do, but he's been hired.
Well, good to know.
Bert Beasley pulls out his spreadsheet of tasks. He's a man who likes to get tasks done and cross them off the spreadsheet in red ink.
Okay, I'm going to bring you to the tap room now. So you got your spreadsheets out, Bert. You're talking with the crew about what you want to do.
Bert Beasley is going to propose a couple options here and see where we might like to focus our efforts, synergy and all of those business words that you use. So the barkeeper, probably from the card for the Ravens, right? That would be helpful. He's probably not just going to come out and give us whatever we want unless we do his little wine supply side quest. So option 1, wine supply. Then he'll probably help us with all the ravens upstairs.
I mean, we kind of have an in on that already because maybe people know me, or maybe Wet Rock is arrogant enough to think that people know him as a spirit fellow, and he might have a way in to ingratiate for the wine supply. But
Let me ask you.
I don't know that this might not be the lowest hanging fruit. I think there's some other stuff that we should probably attack. But please go ahead.
I
Well,
have
yeah.
a question and a statement for you, Wet Rock. You
Oh,
have
boy.
been making a good bit of whiskey. I think you are running out of mash. I don't know
No,
if you're
I
continuing
actually
to
am
distill.
completely out of whiskey at this point. When
So,
we got here, one of my priorities was trying to find a source of quick running water, the
right.
kind
So
of
where are
quick
you?
running water that I like. But I'm not looking to trade wares. More trying to, I guess, say that um, I know my way around that
Gotcha.
that world, and
Gotcha.
if we need an in that world, I think that I can find out how to get there. But also following up to say, I don't think that's necessarily the most important. I mean, we're gonna have to stay here at this place
You
unless
purchased rooms at the inn.
yeah,
Yeah. So no,
unless
I'm
we
just
want to stay somewhere else. And I don't think
right.
we're
No,
going to go back to the church. So we might have another opportunity to investigate the Ravens if
right.
there's something else that's more pressing that
Yeah,
we
I'm
should.
just saying it's one of our 5 cards, so that's
Yeah,
probably like a
that's a big one.
main
And
quest
we have
item.
an in. So I mean, if
Yeah.
we're considering all these things, you know, that's all I'm saying. My bad.
To yeah, the other one I'd say that also looks achievable that we kind of know a goal of would be getting rid of, everyone's favorite pie factory at the windmill. So it kind of seems like those are 2 things that we could probably reasonably start doing, and we know how to do them or what we need to do anyway. So it just kind of depends on what you guys want to do. Do you want to do the Ravens and the
Is,
card, probably
is
the
this
wine supply, or the
is
windmill?
this in character, or are you saying this is Skylar?
This is Bert Beasley looking over his spreadsheets,
Yeah, that's what I was
letting you
thinking.
letting you
Okay.
kids pick what you want to do.
Well,
He's an old man. He's had his
if
adventures.
we only have two choices and one of them is entering that windmill, I will choose whatever the other one is. I don't think that we're ready to take that windmill on.
Anyone else? Any thoughts here from our other 2
I am
companions?
I'm sort of in the corner, keeping to myself, watching or listening to this dialogue go back and forth as I am feeding the parakeet and um, teaching it some little tricks. This is the sort of social surrounding where I'm not usually going to, be very active. I kind of keep to myself. But I am broadly supportive of doing whatever. And so I basically kind of say here, uh, for what it's worth, I think that we've got a number of different things that we really need to address here. I really think that windmill needs to get burned down because that's tied to a lot of other things I'm seeing around here. But those ravens have really got me thinking. And so if we can sleuth out what's going on there, I think that will be solid progress too. Um, I would really like to burn down that windmill. Thank you for listening to my TED talk.
Now,
And I go back to feeding the parakeet.
that old lady goes to sell pies at night, right? She's pushing her.
No, she's pushing her pies during the day and evening. It was not
Mm,
nighttime.
Afternoon. We could all agree an afternoon pie seller.
Yeah.
I definitely had the hiss of some
Would it
afternoon sin.
would it maybe be better to go at a time when someone is selling pies? So perhaps we could sneak in and liberate the children and then set it on fire.
Bert Beasley thinks that
Wet Rock is saying that I have no idea why my very clear logic for not attacking the windmill is not getting through. But if we must insist on attacking the windmill, then let's go do it, because we cannot do anything until we set that windmill on fucking fire. So let's go do that.
Bert Beasley thinks you might be onto something, but maybe switch it up. What if we go after the lone individual pie seller first, while they're on the road, because we know it'd just be one of them, and then perhaps burn the windmill down afterwards.
Guys, I think that your nose
That's
for
a good point.
strategy should be taking us in the direction of success. So,
And it will take
at this
remarkably
point, I'm ready to be an attack dog or a fucking, I'm ready to do as told.
I contribute the fact that it will take remarkably less kindling to burn down the pie witch than the windmill.
Yeah. Well, and then we could even use our cart to carry more kindling to the windmill,
Are we suggesting that we set a person on fire in public to demonstrate some point?
She's hardly a person. I mean, she's clearly an evil entity of some sort.
But, Bert Beasley does want to point out that she is beloved by many people,
So
who
we'd have to be careful.
want their pie fix. They
can't
might
get
try
her
to
in a
stop
town.
us. Right. They might try to stop
So-
us.
So
Killed
guys,
my you
after
killed my
after
dealer.
we murder everyone that we think is involved in the pie ring, then what?
That's right. So
Are we going to be able to go back to our beds at the inn
well,
and
we're talking about killing some
sleep it off
witches,
while we
some
get
hags.
ready to go somewhere else? Or are all they going to be happy with it? I mean, what are we doing? If we go and destroy a place,
I think you're killing some witches.
Yeah, some
Well, I don't
hags.
mean we have to do it tonight necessarily.
let's go kill them tonight. I don't know. Why not?
This is Bert Beasley. He's got a plan. He's calculated the odds. He's looked over, the life insurance policies that have paid out for people being
Sure.
murdered on the road. And based on all the historical data of insurance pays out, he thinks maybe a good way to do it would be at night or afternoon. We established afternoon pie sales when this person maybe has left the windmill and is on the way to a town far away from the windmill, definitely far away, not close. Perhaps we ambush them before they reach a town so the drug addicts don't try to stop us. Murder one witch, and then maybe then go burn down the windmill. That seems maybe like it could work if
How do we
that's the
know-
course
If
of
I know
action.
anything about illegal product sales, then I know that if the person on the receiving end does not see or receive within a certain amount of time, a reasonable amount of time, then we're setting off alarms. I think if that's the approach that we want to go on, then we ought to scope out their routes and find out when they're coming back, and then we can get them on the way back.
How do we know it's one witch?
Because they do have the ability to turn invisible.
And they could very well have the ability to look like the same witch. I'm not convinced that
What
There's not-
does
Oh, no,
this
no,
have
it's-
to do with the strategy for whether or not and how we get in to burn down?
No,
which is
because
why we need to
burning down's
burn
gonna
down
be
the
later.
whole thing with all of them.
so if it is multiple witches, we've only seen one witch at a time selling pies. So Bert Beasley thinks based on having done business inspections of pie shops in the past, that probably there'd be one person out selling, the others might be back murdering children and making more pies.
So
Yep.
you think there's only one sales witch?
That's all we've seen. That's all we have
I
knowledge
think
of.
there may be copies of that same witch, so
Hmm.
that they're selling pies in the evening in all the towns.
I think again,
Right. So that I would say that doesn't necessarily matter if we're just going to kill, defeat in detail, kill one at a time. whether there are multiple sellers or not.
So
You know,
are we thinking we disappear a witch and see what the response is and then go from there? Is that kind of where you're going?
I bet the response is they'll be very upset.
Nope.
right,
I'm asking Bert Beasley,
right.
is your idea to disappear a witch and then see what happens in Volley?
Uh, yes, yes. I mean, well, Bert Beasley thinks we want to kill the witches, we want to burn it down, but could we fight multiple old hags at once? Based on our past, scuffles, Bert Beasley's super sure we're all going to die if we try to
Yeah.
fight more than one witch at a
So
time.
okay, so Wet Rock is finally feeling some solidarity here, in that we can't take on the windmill. But while he doesn't fully agree or fully understand this plan from Bert, it sounds like one that we can win. And if we get moving off this obsession with the witches and the dream pies, then I'm for it.
I will say that I think that the ravens that have been watching us are either they unsettle me a little bit.
Hmm.
So it's highly likely that somebody's watching all of this because those ravens are not actual ravens and they're clearly keeping an eye out here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for us.
Can't we assume that it's a bad thing because we have met Count
Given
Count
that everything we've
Strahd
met is a
von
bad thing.
and we know that he's a bad dude that has bad intentions, and maybe the dream cakes are part of it.
All
But
I
it's
know
certainly
is that
become personal to us with the dream cakes.
for all we know, they could be agents of the windmill.
Bert
I
Beasley
mean,
thinks that's
hell, we gotta
unlikely
move. We
for a
got to
couple
move.
In which
reasons.
case, I agree with Wet Rock. We need to move sooner rather than later.
Right. Bert Beasley thinks the ravens are probably a good thing. It raised one of our cards, and the barkeeper has a raven necklace, and offered us a job. So, yeah.
That is true.
So probably not agents of the windmill. They could be other not great folks, but probably not great friends of the windmill witches.
Okay.
I
So where's the party heading tonight? Are you turning in and heading out in the morning to go ambush one of the cellar witches?
I think maybe we could. I think everyone's well rested and healthy. We could try to get the witch after she's sold her pies, or perhaps in a dark alleyway, or outside of town as she returns at night. That could be an option.
What if we trek back, set up on one of the roads that we know pies have been sold in a town that goes down that road? We park out, we scope it out, and we see what the action is.
That could work, but I don't know if we've seen any witches actually in this, or pie sellers in this town.
Yeah, but we might see if we go back to the windmill and we set up on the road, then we might see someone leaving.
Yeah,
Well,
or potentially returning
Well, we
somewhere
could
outside of town.
That's right. I got to piss real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
what we could do is spend a night just scoping out what's going on.
Yeah.
So that we understand better what
The
the
comings and
movings,
goings.
yes, within this general village. And then use the time in the meantime to suss out what's going on with this Raven situation.
That seems very reasonable. Would we want to split up and some people stay here and look into this Raven situation, and some others just scope out the comings and goings of this pie-selling witch.
My gut feeling is that we are stronger together in this strange land.
A compelling argument.
Yes, because one thing goes wrong. For instance, Bagamo was laid low by a crumpet. This place means business.
Cool. Well, in that case, we are at the bar with the ravens in the attic in a barkeep with a raven necklace. So we could just try to find out some of that. We might have to do the wine task before he would be willing to give us all of his secrets, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, Erwin was his name. Erwin Martikov, he introduced himself as. And he's there at the bar, working. You noticed a feather necklace around his neck, Bert. You did notice that. And yeah.
Well, who would like to go over and, talk to this barkeep?
Bagmo, I feel your spirit may be talking, but
you also were looking and
hear you.
You also were looking and there were a couple of local toughs that were sitting at a table over there that you were looking for yesterday, and you'd asked earlier. You'd asked them asked about if there were some tough-looking, thuggish guys, and there are that are just drinking and not paying attention to you. So you'd mentioned them previously as well. In terms of wanting to try to recruit people to go siege the windmill or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the barkeep is there.
I don't think we've earned enough goodwill in this town yet to round up a posse, but we can do some scouting, and the more information we have about this operation, compared to the morale in this town, I think, we should be able to find some allies, but I'm worried now.
Okay.
Bert,
So what do you?
Bert Beasley wants to tell Bagamo, you're a likable gal. People seem to really just enjoy your company. They could just tell you anything. Maybe we should send you over to this barkeep. Perhaps you could find some information out about him.
You doing that, Bagman?
Talk to the barkeep.
Yeah, Erwin Martikov.
I don't feel that my skills lend themselves to chatting up barkeeps. Like, if you need a heavy table moved, I'm good at that.
A doorbell.
But in my career, somehow when it comes to the talking part, the ministering, the convincing, I'm gonna be honest, I have not done so well. I always seem to say the wrong thing.
We always used to say that, Bagmo was the most evangelical criminal that we've ever found. I don't think that that's changed, but her heart is pure. Maybe I can go tuck up the barkeep.
You could bond over your love of whiskey and drinks.
Well, I did really enjoy
wine.
his family's beet soup very much.
Yeah,
we did have a rapport earlier in the evening, so perhaps I can go to him. But what is it that I'm trying to find out? Am I just trying to gain his trust?
Maybe about the ravens upstairs. He also has this missing wine shipment.
Yeah.
You could maybe find out more information about the missing wine shipment.
All right.
That might be a good thing.
I can work on those things. So I kind of mosey on up to the bar.
Erwin
clap down, and
Erwin is over there, and he goes, "Oh, my friend, did you enjoy the soup?"
Ah, delicious.
Oh, thank you,
just,
thank you, my friend.
but it's amazing.
Can I interest
to
you in
me, it's
Can I interest you in
amazing
wolf steak?
how quickly soup runs through you. It's like
Yes, yes, yes.
cheap beer.
Could I interest you in
You know,
fresh wolf steak?
maybe later. I was just outside taking a purple piss. I don't know if you know anything about. I'm sure you do.
It sounds like you need to see doctor.
No, it was from the beats.
Ah, yes, yes, of course,
Of
of course.
course,
That is
but
very fast through your system, sir.
indeed, it's straight through. But I noticed there was some McCullum birds up there.
Ah,
I
yes.
come from the hills, and we have lots of birds, and they've always irked me. And I don't know what it is about them that they just, make me feel uncomfortable.
Sometimes they roost here. It is, what is it that makes you uncomfortable, my friend?
I feel like they want to eat me.
Oh, oh no, my friend, they do not wish to eat you.
No,
You're not from around here, are you?
no, I'm from the hill country and the other side of the sea.
The other side of the sea.
Or am I? Or maybe
I,
the
I. How long have you been here, my friend?
as an adventurer and a problem solver, I've been all over. Usually I stay close to running water where I can work my trade as a spirit man.
Oh, you are in the distillation arts, no?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But
But I
tell
always
me,
believe in digging a fresh, you know.
my friend, if you are
Yes.
distilling here,
No,
where do you find corn or wheat or barley?
I have not distilled here yet, but I found some
Could
good.
I
Yes, sir.
could I perhaps suggest that you could try brandy?
Oh, sure.
Take grape wine and distill grape wine to make fruit brandy.
Absolutely. I mean, no, I have no qualms in that area.
I
Honestly,
tell you,
here at this point, I've run out of my stash
I
of
tell you what, my friend,
yeah.
my my family label at the Wizard Divines, which for some reason we've not received our latest shipment of wine, but as adventurers such as yourself that accomplish things and are capable, I can clearly see you're armed and capable. If you was to help deliver the vine, I could perhaps work with you a supply of grape mash that you could use to distill your liquors.
You have the sour mash?
I mean, it is but wine. All you need to do is allow it to be distilled. Like
Oh, sure. And I've got I mean, we can build you a
it would be
distillery off of the just north of the tributary of the river. I guess that's northeast of the great windmill out there, a few miles from town. But yeah,
it would
all we
make
need is a good source of running water.
it would make a fortified wine or a brandy, depending on how good the distillation was.
Hey,
If you multi-distill it from fruit, we would make a brandy. Could be very good.
all I need is the sour mash, brother. I mean, the what I'm lacking currently is the mash. I mean, we can get a keg and we can
Well,
dig a
there is
ditch and we can build a fire. We just don't have the mash anymore.
well at the Wizard there are vats of grape mash that are becoming wine. I could speak with my father, Devian, who runs the winery, and you know, perhaps we could work something out, my friend.
That sounds wonderful. I don't know how long we'll be here, but I'm very
Yes, I
excited
am.
to try. I mean,
You're clearly not from. You're clearly not from here. What?
no.
What? And you travel with this strange woman who she appears more Barovian than you are. Tell me, my friend, what what are you doing here?
Well, it was kind of a evolving adventure. I think at first we were sent out to quell a siege on a city, and we did so. And along the way, we've met many people that have done great favors for us. And in return, we've offered to help them in any way we can. A lot of times the work that we do is not fully repayable in coin. I'm sure you understand these are tough times and there are many zealots. But with what we are able to do, you know, we make friends along the way. And in doing so, we find ourselves in different towns. We found ourselves here to protect a citizen that we found in another city.
Yes,
That work is done, and so now we shift our focus back towards where we came from and the troubles.
the troubles. What?
Troubles.
You mean the troubles of this place?
I mean, it's not limited to this place. I'm sure
Well,
you understand.
I am trying to.
Well,
I take it then you are no friends of the Lord of the land.
I wouldn't say we have friends that are lords. I'd say that we have met people that have introduced us to lords. We've not been welcomed, as you can imagine.
I
We
take
are
it.
all from humble backgrounds. However, we have
I'm
an investment in this character Strahd.
and he lowers his voice a bit as you say his name. He says, "Do not let the burgomaster hear you mention his name." But he lowers down his voice a little bit and he says, "But we here are no friends of Count Strahd von Zarovich."
And I kind of just put up my hand, clasp him, and say, pour me up another.
And he
Flip him
fixes
a
you another
gold.
one. And he says, "How may I help you, my friend? You
I say, in order to answer that, I need to figure out more, but I will be back."
okay?" He pours you a glass of the same wine that you had before.
I lift it up and I say a cheer to him, and then I come back to the crew and I
Okay?
say, "Ho, boy." So the Count's reach is definitely here. He has enemies here. I don't know his involvement in the wine shortage or in the crows, but I know that we have a friend in the barkeep if we need him.
Did
Well,
we did we learn anything about the ravens or
Basically, he says a lot of times they roost here. That's what he said.
And that's all he knows, huh?
I didn't press him. I was more interested in Strahd and the wine, I guess. I kind of let the conversation take us where I thought I could get information, and most of it was about the wine. It's my fault.
that's okay. Did we maybe think we could solve his wine problem?
Oh, we can definitely solve his wine problem. He's got the mash, He just doesn't have a still. We can travel to the river and dig one out, no problem.
I'm sorry. I like how to Wet Rock. His wine problem is that he doesn't even have a still up and running. We can definitely solve this.
I'm saying. I mean, was that not what I was supposed to walk away from there feeling? He did not have any kind of manufacturing except for outside of his premises, even though they own the branding for the wine. They've got the mash on hand. They have no still. They need a still. I can make stills anywhere there's running water.
Bert Beasley is first kind of disappointed you did not perform the task in the way he thought you should. But then he realized, maybe they don't really care about the wine, and there's always new business opportunities, and maybe building them a whiskey still is just as good. Why not? That's sure.
Should I go back and ask him more directly about the Ravens?
You sure can.
You can.
I mean, I'm pretty drunk. I don't think he'll be alarmed by it, but I do need to mosey up to it.
All right.
I mean, is that what we're more concerned with, or do we feel
to
like
move you along? Do you do that?
Things we want to know about the missing wine shipment and how we could maybe solve it, and yes, about the Ravens for sure, definitely.
I'll just say, Ergoth,
I did figure out what we could do with the wine.
Yes, then that was very smart.
Ergoth is
I
a severe.
did not figure out what we could do about the birds.
Ergoth what?
Ergoth is a severe introvert with a catastrophic charisma score. So that is one reason why I'm sort of staying quiet here. And like lore-wise, I'm definitely, playing with my parakeet and having my own little self-time. I'm not going to be good to negotiate.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You guys developed 4 characters, and all of them are introverts.
When we have characters that are introverts, it's on the other playing characters that aren't to draw anything out of them. Is that what we're?
Well, it's not just.
They're just trying to play their characters as they are.
I literally have a negative charisma score.
Okay.
Persuasion checks.
Maybe I'll look over at Ergoth, and I'm like, hey.
You look over at Ergoth, and Ergoth is picking his nose. He's got a finger like all the way up there.
Bert Beasley wants to go talk to the barkeeper real quick.
All right, Bert, you walk over, and Erwin is looking at you as you walk up. He says, "Hello, my friend. Welcome.
Hello,
I see you are with the dwarven gentleman. He is very friendly.
He is a fine friend, and he makes excellent drink, which perhaps you two could work out.
He seems to drink it. He seems to drink it as well.
That is one of his greatest flaws in business is, consuming his own supply at a rather astonishing rate.
Oh, yes, I am familiar with such problems. What can I get you? Would you like a glass of wine or perhaps some stew or a wolf steak?
I think I already had one of those delicious wolf steaks.
Oh, and, thank you.
Yes, I would like perhaps another glass of your fine wine, which I hear is excellent.
Well, there are 2 types of wine. There is the purple grape mash number 3, and the superior red dragon crush. I take it you wish to have the red dragon.
If it is the superior one of your own making,
it is, but it is alas, unfortunately, the barrel is running quite thin. I shall see how much I am able to extract for you. And he goes down to the spigot. He says, enough for at least one more glass. And he hands you the red dragon.
Bert Beasley is going to take a drink. And
it's good.
It's good. Yeah, he knows his wine.
You would know your wine, and you would know that this is good wine. And it's better than you would expect, actually, for like this kind of world. Like to Bert, this is sort of like third world, but this is sort of like fine French wine. And
Bert Beasley, he wants to remark, wow, this is an excellent wine. This is.
And Erwin says, thank you. But then he says, it is the only thing that the people here have. As you can see, this place, this world, it is happiness is not here.
Yes, I've
The
only been
wine,
here for a short
yes,
while, and it is very sad.
the wine provides people comfort. It is the lifeblood of Barovians. We drink it and share memories, and it is, many say it is the only thing that keeps my people going.
And yet, it seems your barrel is empty.
Indeed, the supply it is stopped running.
What
I
is
do not know.
where do you get it from? What has happened with your
My
regular supply?
my family vineyard is down the salvage road. It is not far from here. I can tell you the exact number of miles in a minute, but he says not terribly far. It comes from there. My father runs the vineyard, and we usually receive supply once per week, but we have not received supply in quite this. We have not received this week's supply, and it is approaching week 2.
Wow. And as you said, people love this excellent fine wine and will be
It is shipped.
devastated.
It is shipped to village Barovia, to Valaki, to Kresik, to every town and village in the countryside.
I did not introduce myself properly. Not only am I Bert Beasley, but I actually represent Gorkin Sons, a premier insurance company. I was wondering, did you insure your shipment of wine? That's something
Uh,
Gorkin Sons, is no stranger to insuring shipments.
well, no, I do not. I've never heard of such, but it may be something that I suppose we would be interested in.
Wow. Well, we might be willing to look into your missing wine shipment
I will
if
be. I will
Gorkin
be on.
Sons can
I will be
earn
on.
your business of insuring your
I
future
will.
shipments. We will, of course, cover the entire cost of the wine for a modest monthly premium.
He looks at you and he says, "I will be honest with you, Mr. Beasley. The wine is my family label, but it is. I am not the owner of the vineyard. It is
Of
owned by my.
course.
It is owned by my father, and it is my family label, and we serve it here as well as other places. But decisions on whether shipments would be insured would surely be his decision to make.
Excellent. Excellent.
But you are a shrewd businessman, and I'm sure that you have the skills to convince him as you have convinced me.
Perhaps
But
you have a map nearby and you could tell us the road that your shipment takes from the vineyard to this fine establishment.
says, but of course. And you pull out your map. I think you found a map or have a map.
We have a
somehow.
map, yeah, for sure.
Because I will show you where the vineyard is located. And let me bring you to the map of Barovia. Okay. We zoom out because I'm zoomed way in. He says, "Yeah, very good, very good. We are here in Valaki," and he points to where the wet rock head is. And then he points over to here, right here, where
I'm
there's a picture
sorry.
of a small building surrounded by what appeared to be farm fields. He says, "These are the
Oh, down here.
No, over here."
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep. He says, "These are the vineyard fields of my family label. And that is the Wizard of Vines. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we'll just say even 30 and divide that out. It's about 8 miles down the road,
Nice.
give or take.
Well, perhaps we will go and we will look into finding your lost shipment and then talk to your father about ensuring future shipments. And then Rock may also, perhaps you could collaborate on a fortified wine using his excellent
I told
whiskey.
him that I would be certainly willing to give him supply of wine that he could distill into brandy or fortified wine if he so chose to distill it in exchange for assisting us.
Super, super. Well, I will report back with more information. And Bert Beasley is going to walk back over and tell everyone about the wine shipment and the farm and the path the wine shipment takes, and that perhaps we could go look into that if we want to get off of our killing witches thing.
And where was that village again? I'm sorry, the farm?
Oh, it's over here.
Okay.
About a
8
day's
miles.
half a
About
day's
8
walk.
About 8 miles.
I see.
Yeah.
I was having problem finding it on the map.
So we
No
were in the
worries.
village of where the I,
We're
I
right-
the lot.
do
we're right
not
here.
see where we are. Oh, there we are. Okay.
And
Here.
the farm is over here.
Okay. All right. We're all clicking in the same area now.
Yeah. So our options now, Bert Beasley, is going to tell you we could go and start on this path and find the lost wine shipment, and perhaps then he didn't want to bring up the ravens and the
Did you
Raven
find
necklace.
anything about the ravens?
Bert Beasley, he just really felt that was too soon to be asking about these mysterious ravens. We're basically complete strangers at this point, and he might not, be super willing to tell us about that at the moment.
Fair enough. I felt similar, which is
Yeah.
why I moved on to the whiskey shipment. Being
He
that
said
it is far,
he'd also
and
be interested
it's
in that.
yeah.
So, would you
But
guys
I
like
also
to?
I could go over there and give the ravens one more try.
Well, I think we could pass on that for now.
Fair enough.
Would you guys like to hunt down the shipment or go stalk a witch and kill her?
I would really like to stalk this witch. Last night I slept, and yet
You don't feel right still.
they gave me somehow through the spirit world. They drugged me with the dream pies as I slept, as all of you watched.
Yes, that was terribly,
I
terribly.
don't know how such a thing, how this is possible, and yet it's happened to me. And
Be right back.
well, honestly, I felt like I was gonna hurl all day. So I feel physically and mentally unwell with what happened, what I've ingested.
You got
Totally
to
unconscious of doing so. And so I feel the only way to restore my honor and perhaps my ability to eat a hearty breakfast
more cowbell
is to destroy this witch and prevent the murder of any more children.
Oh boy.
All right. So
there's some toughs over here that perhaps we could I don't want to say lie, but exaggerate, perhaps.
What are we recruiting them for? A witch killing?
Yes.
We
could give them,
and you feel good about this.
We could give them the money.
Find a witch, kill this witch, thinking that she's definitely doing the things that we think she's doing.
I mean, we've seen her sell pies.
I've seen her try and take a child. There can be no doubt.
Okay, well, let's go.
Seem clear.
So
I guess with these thugs, we could perhaps say that this old woman, has lots of money from selling the pies.
Perhaps she must do.
Yeah. So we could try to hire them, I guess, with a cut of the profits of killing the witch. Although Bert Beasley does wonder what use a couple thugs would be other than perhaps just dying for us.
Yep.
One never knows.
I also, could we go talk to the guy that I paid or I promised pay earlier? We'll see if he picked up anything that might be useful. If not, then
Well,
we
that
can
was earlier
be
this.
on our
That was
way.
earlier
Yeah.
this evening.
That was a
Yeah,
short while ago.
Oh, a short while. Okay.
Still same day.
All right.
I thought we were deep into the night. Maybe that was like
You've been probably here. You've probably been here.
A 4 p.m. transaction, and we were now in the 2 a.m.
No, it was like they were night services that happened at like 7, 8 o'clock, and it's probably like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. now.
Okay, so
Bert
really,
Beasley, despite being a insurance salesman, is also a man of action. You don't become Gorkinson's top salesman of insurance policies by doing nothing. And perhaps now would be a good time for us to go out and stalk this witch as she comes and goes from the windmill and watch her. And perhaps if we think the time is right, fall upon her like people who really like pies enough to kill you for them. Yeah.
Okay. So you all are gonna go talk to the toughs.
Mm-hmm.
So we think they're mercs.
You don't know. They're just like rowdy looking dudes.
I know.
That are
They look
drinking.
sketchy. I
And we're
agree they look
sending
sketchy.
over the insurance broker. And
You have you
let
so,
me-
so
And
hold on,
Bert,
hold on. Stop.
recruit
Everybody
them.
quiet. They are just tough looking guys that are sitting at the bar drinking, and they're a little bit rowdy. You have no idea what they are, who they are, or what they do.
And why should we need to recruit them to go take on one witch? I mean, the recruiting thing made sense when we were trying to take on the windmill and multiple witches.
My strength, it's not what it should be.
And you think, let's go kill this witch, and that will make your strength come back? And
Yeah,
so
she's
you'll be
saying
ready for whatever retribution
she's
comes?
weak, and because of her weakness, she thinks we're not, tough enough to take out a single pie selling witch. Which, maybe she's right, maybe she's not. Bert Beasley's not super interested in hiring tough guys, but he's willing to wait while perhaps Bagamo wants to go over and recruit them. It's kind of her thing that she's harping on. So
Gotcha.
Bagamo, if you want to do this, then it is
Yeah,
on you.
Right. I'm gonna
you're not
head to
gonna
the
get-
bar. I'm gonna
you're not
get
gonna-
two drinks. Actually, make it 3 drinks. I'm gonna look like I'm drinking. I won't be. My tummy's upset.
Okay.
How much is 3 drinks?
Are you purchasing wine? They appear to be drinking wine. If you're asking the guy the
Wet Rock shouts over,
barkeep.
three
Barkeep.
copper for the purple grape mash, the cheap stuff.
Barkeep. Those 2 fine gentlemen over there. They have, their favorite beverage.
Nikolai and Carl. Yeah, fine. So you say they are drinking, and I might add, pouring down the last of my superior red dragon crush.
Well, their second favorite drink, then I'll take that.
That would be the purple grape mash 3.
Okay, 3 of those, my good sir.
9 coppers, 1 silver. Make it an even silver.
All right, I flip him a coin.
Okay, he pours you 3 cups, pints of the purple grape mash number 3.
All right.
And says, best of luck to you.
Best of luck indeed. Oh boy, I hope they don't think I'm coming on to them. That would be very awkward for all of us. You gentlemen don't know how hard it is. to be a beautiful half orc in this business.
Big strapping half orc.
Okay, you approach the two.
Yep.
What do you say?
Well, hello there. And I kind of put my elbow awkwardly on the table.
They look over at you, and one of them, who is bald-headed and with a big beard, looks over and says, "Actually, no, this is the wrong picture." Looks over and says, "Oh, yes, hello, and you
I
are?"
couldn't help but notice you two fine strapping lads.
Ha!
And I slide some drinks to them.
And they sort of cheers. Hey, more drinks. And one of them takes a swig of it and goes, "Ha! She's purchased purple grape mash," and pats you on the shoulder and says, "It is all right, dear. We will drink it anyways. Come drink with us."
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to pretend sip my wine.
He takes a big chug of it and looks at you and says, "Drink, drink." Roll sleight of hand to pretend to drink, or performance, your choice. You can do performance to pretend to drink.
Performance is even worse.
I think it probably is performance.
Okay.
Lord God.
He slaps you on the back and says, "Nikolai, help our friend drink." And the drunken one comes over and sort of grabs you by the lips, opens your mouth, and just pours the glass into your mouth. And they both cheer and pound theirs back.
Oh, that's so refreshing. Thank you.
Hey, another.
All right, I'll pay for another round.
They do the same. They force you to drink.
Wet Rug
So,
notices that
what
they
do you two do for work?
They just laugh at this. "You don't know who we are, do you?" She doesn't know who we are.
Oh, no. I'm new in town.
Nikolai, she's new in town. Tell us, new in town, what are you doing here? Regale us with your tales.
Well, had a little bodyguard job, little escort
Yes?
business on the way here, but now
I see.
we're looking into.
You're bringing fine woman into town. She is quite beautiful. Perhaps you introduce me. Wink, wink, wink.
Oh, I'd love to eventually after I get to know you a little better. That's our friend, and my introduction would carry a lot of weight.
Sure. So you work as bodyguard. You are here, no doubt, to take care of our problem.
Oh, I do like to help out when I can.
Of course she is. Of course she is, Nikolai. What else would she be here for?
But I do have a difficult task coming up that might be quite rewarding, but we need perhaps one or two strong assistants that would want to cut in on the deal.
For money?
Oh, yes.
Nikolai, she is offering us a job. And the other one says, "Carl, I believe she is offering us a job. Tell us, woman, tell us, strong green woman, what is job you wish to offer us?"
Well, there's a certain person who sells a certain kind of merchandise that it's not quite on the up and up.
Not on the up and up, she says. My friend, my friend, my friend. We need not your money.
Oh, I'm
But
so.
do tell us, tell us. Tell us tales of your land and where you come from and what you've done. You should speak with mother.
With mother?
Yes.
Your
You would,
mother.
yes, she would be most interested in you, I think. Yes. He
Oh,
turns
well,
he
I'd
turns
love to
to
meet your mother. Where does she live?
Look for the largest house in town and you will find her.
Oh, well, what's your mother's name?
Fiona. You really aren't from around here, are you? You don't know my family.
Oh, no, I just got here yesterday.
Ha! You should speak with Fiona. You seem like the right type she was looking for those such as yourself.
Oh, well, thank you for the tip. Sorry to bother you.
No, come, drink with us, please. Tell us more tales. Tell us about how you are going to kill the little worm that runs this town.
Beg your pardon?
You know she really doesn't know, does she? She
What?
Carl.
I'm confused. And Bogano kind of sits back with her head in her hand.
I
I
think
was
she's had
just,
I think she's had too much to drink, Nikolai. Or not enough, Carl. Pour her another one.
oh, too much, I'm sure.
Ulrich, bring us another round. Put it on family tab. And he brings out the high proof red dragon, another cup of it, and they say, drink.
He's shouting this across the bar.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
Nikolai, I really
alert
think
is
this
very
is
high.
wasted on me. Would you like this one?
Drink.
I couldn't. I've had a little tummy problem today.
Drink.
I don't want to drink it.
Okay. She doesn't wish to drink, Carl. Then I will drink it.
Oh,
And Nikolai,
yes, by all means.
Nikolai pounds back another one. And they look over at you and you say, perhaps you're not as tough as I thought you were. You look ripped with muscles and strong and big and clearly a tough one yourself. I still say, Carl, that she should speak with Mother. She's just the type.
What does Carl say?
Carl just sort of nods. And one of them grabs, shouts over to Ulrich and says, another!
Yeah. Wet Rock is coming over there.
Aye, Master Dwarf.
Aye. What are we doing?
You come to drink with us and regale us with tales.
This looks like the most fun place to be.
Yes, come,
I've
drink.
only had a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Of course, of course.
I see the big green dragon lady. Are you working a business?
Work.
Oh, no.
What are we drinking?
We are drinking only the finest.
Heard it was running low here.
That's what Ulrich tells, but he is holding out. I know he has barrels in the back. Ulrich, bring forth the good stuff.
Why should it only be for us? If you want
Because
some real good
because
stuff.
my family is
If you
richest.
want some real good stuff.
Because my family is richest in town, and we will have whatever we want.
Ooh.
Says Nikolai.
That sounds saucy. Do you do you know anything about? What do you tell me about the birds?
What birds?
All right.
I don't
What
pay
can
any
you, what
attention
can
to
you tell me
birds.
about distilleries? Hey, I have a way that I can take your mash for your wine and make it into a fine whiskey, a brandy. And
I've never had this, only wine.
well, can you help me to build a still off the river?
I could help you to drink it. Building sounds like work, and work and I do not get along.
You don't like to work.
I don't have to work, I have to drink.
Oh,
Another orange.
awesome. Have you been drinking all day?
What else is to do?
Mm. Yeah. Well, hey, if you want, have you ever heard of the parable of the man that couldn't feed himself?
I do not know what is a parable.
All right. The parable is a story that
I do
has
enjoy stories.
a lesson, and it's kind of an obvious lesson once you hear the story.
Tell us your tale of the man that could not feed himself. Did someone cut off his arms?
No, someone in town that he lived in was a really good fisherman, and he always followed the fisherman around to ask him, "Hey, can I get some fish? You've
Why
caught
did
so
he
many.
why
You've
did he
caught
not
so
just
many.
buy
Maybe I can."
why did he
Hey,
not just buy fish?
do you want to hear the story, or do
Yes,
you?
of course, please tell.
All right. And the man gave him a fish every now and then, but didn't give him a fish often enough to feed him or his family. So eventually the fisherman turned around and he said, "If you really want to learn, I'll teach you how to fish for yourself."
Interesting. But would it not be
So
better to
what
hire
I'm telling
multiple
you,
would it not be better to hire multiple peasants to work for him that could learn to fish, that would then do all fishing and bring him multiple fishes, so that he
what,
can drink?
sure, but what if all the
Ah,
peasants,
you agree, you agree.
what if all the peasants die?
Then we shall buy another.
Buy more peasants.
But of course.
It's hard to argue.
Hard to argue.
I mean,
What?
I
What?
morally it's an issue, but it clearly works because look at the world the way it is.
Sure.
And
Look at
Skylar has
Longbow
gotten
all
puts her
this.
so
head down
and
to the
Skylar has
table.
gotten so bored with the D&D game.
Look at all the splendor that's happening all around us. You're right. Why not just buy another?
It is splendorous for me.
Okay. What would it take? You know what? Have a good night.
Good night to you.
But are you guys back from your
Yeah.
little
Well,
how did hiring some tough assassins go there? Well,
turns
they
out
join.
they're drunk rich kids, so not great.
They exactly are drunk rich kids. Just to metagame outside of this, I will read from the book for you. They are of noble birth, drunk brashards, always looking for some trouble, but smart enough to not pick fights with you. They'd rather listen to your tales. They have no interest in work.
Probably not
Nice.
ideal mercs.
Yeah, it doesn't sound. Well, Bert Beasley feels like we're ready to set out. Perhaps leave the town and find a nice spot.
Well, it is
On
nighttime.
the,
Are you going to turn in the rooms that you purchased?
uh,
Or are you
we
going to camp
could
out?
to options. We could turn into a room and then track down the witch tomorrow. Perhaps if she's leaving the windmill, if we get a very early start, catch her before she comes into town. Or we could leave now and hope that she is leaving town and returning to the windmill at night.
What time do we think it is?
It is probably about 10 o'clock at night.
Probably
9:30.
the morning then.
9:30 p.m. and we're all exhausted.
Services at the church are at about 7. It's probably about close to 10.
I would like to take a mosey about town before we turn in.
A night mosey. Okay, you do so. Allow me to tell you what you see as you mosey around the night mosey.
And I would be open for companions if they wish to mosey with me.
Bert Beasley loves an evening stroll.
Okay. I need to walk it off.
You're all walking around at night.
All together.
On patrol, one might say.
On patrol. Okay. You walk through the center of town, the town square. The shop. Let me change the music to sort of night. I don't know, Night Velaki. See what Night Velaki is like. I don't think I have a Night Velaki. It's all day stuff.
Nova Lucky Nights.
Nova Lucky Nights.
Just hit that old ESPN After Dark.
We'll just go to this one.
Ad music.
All right, we'll just go to this one.
I think we may have lost the music at one point.
Oh, did we?
Oh, we definitely lost it.
You shouldn't. Do you hear nothing?
We hear nothing. Or I hear nothing.
I hear nothing.
Oh, man.
Well, Lucky Nights are very quiet.
You know what?
There we go.
There it is.
There's a crow.
So you guys didn't have the bar music
out there, get your ass whooped, but hey, hold on now.
Okay. You're walking through the town square. There are shops and homes that enclose the town square. They're decorated with some limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes with tiny dead flowers. At the north end of the square, there's a row of stocks, locked in which are several men, women, and children that are wearing crude plastered donkey heads. They're sort of lying there half dead. In the center of the square, there are a few peasants that are sort of mostly packing up, it looks like, for the evening. There is a fountain there that people could draw water from, and a gray statue of a man that is facing to the west. And there are signs posted all around that read, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Wolf's Head Jamboree. Attendants and children required. Pikes will be provided. All will be well. The Baron." And there are some new signs that are being posted over top of them that say, "Come one, come all, to the greatest celebration of the year, the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Attendants and children required. Rain or shine, all will be well. The Baron." As you're walking around, you see a few things. You see a toy shop. Let me turn off the business in the streets sounds. That's quiet because it's evening. It's late. I don't know what that sound is, but
that's the parade.
It's mostly just crows and things. Okay. There's some guard patrols and stuff. You see a toy shop. It's called Blinsky's Toys. And there's a cramped-looking shop with a dark entrance portico, above which hangs a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse with a bee engraved on both of its sides. And flanking the entrance are two arched lead-framed windows. Though dirty, you can see displays of toys and things hanging inside it. And there is a slogan on the sign that says, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky." You also see a, as you're walking around, you see a shop that says Vandervoort Coffin Maker. And you also see you come around to a stockyard on the outskirts of town, which catches your interest as you're sort of walking around, just making your way downtown. And the
making my way downtown, walking around.
Yes. Large stockyard with several locking sheds along its periphery, adjacent to a roomy warehouse. And there's a sign above the front gate that reads, Arasek Stockyard. But what interests you the most about the stockyard is that parked at the south end of the stockyard is a sturdy-looking carnival wagon with its colorful paint that is peeling off of it. Faded lettering on its sides spells out Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders, and you can see a heavy padlock securing the back door.
Bert Beasley wonders if this carnival is perhaps another one of our cards, a entertaining man with a pet monkey.
Oh, Lord. Why do I feel like this town is so very important for everything?
But Bert Beasley also feels like we're easily distracted on our many side quests and accomplishing lift hole.
Wet Rock is so supremely puzzled by that. However, Justin understands completely and also shares that frustration.
So as we pass by, do I think that this wagon looks like it is highly mobile and moves from place to place, or is it sort of a fixed fixture of the town here?
It looks mobile.
So it looks like this travels from town to town regularly?
Like it could.
Like it doesn't have stuff piled around it or anything?
No. All you see is the heavy padlock on it.
And using his Law and Order SVU skills right now.
So I sort of noted.
Are you going to go up? Are you going up to it?
I'm sort of interested to suss out the coming and going of the Crumpet Witch. So I take mental note of it, but unless one of my companions sort of veers off in that direction, I'm probably not going to lead the group in that direction. Thinking that it'll probably be here in the morning.
I don't fully know what we're looking at.
Right now you're at a stockyard looking at a carnival car.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think the carnival's going anywhere while we're standing here.
Are there people gathered at it just out of curiosity, or is
No, it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Got it. It's not a night
You
carnival.
could definitely go up to it and investigate it if you wanted to.
Well, we're here. We'll take a quick gander.
Okay.
Why the fuck not?
Right, that's what we'll just take a quick look. What's the worst that could happen?
Sure. As you approach up to the cart, the wagon suddenly lurches as though something big has thrown itself against the inside wall, and you hear the cracking of wood and scraping of metal and the snarl of something inhuman. Upon closer inspection, you see that the sides of the wagon are spattered with blood, and you also see an inscription on the wagon's doorframe that reads, I bring you from shadow into light.
Black Lodge.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Do we want to get involved in whatever this is or not?
Do you know an Agent Chet Desmond?
The last time I got involved with a cart, look what's happened to me.
True.
Are there
What are we looking at? It's an abandoned carnival.
It doesn't appear to be abandoned. It's a carnival cart that is sitting in the stockyards that drew your attention. It's got a giant padlock on it. And as you approached it, something lurched and slammed into the side of it. You heard an inhuman snarl and noticed blood around it.
Bagmo, break that lock.
I go knock on the cart and say hello.
There's a child in there, Bagmo. Punch that lock, bust it open.
It's not a child.
You hear
snarl. They've got a dog trapped in there. Bagmo, punch the lock.
Bagmo, roll me nature.
She didn't say that she was trying.
I knocked on it and said hello.
Yeah, she can roll nature.
Okay.
Maybe somebody doesn't want to come out.
That's right.
Bagmo, it's definitely not a dog snarl.
What, Rock? It's not an adorable puppy. It sounds horrible. And I must save all my strength for the task ahead.
All right. What do I need to roll? Insight or nature?
Depends on what your.
I want to try to figure out what the hell we're looking at in here.
You hear this?
Yeah. Sounds like a big ass jungle cat that I've read about in books. What should I roll?
Roll nature. There's no windows.
Yeah. Sounds like a jungle cat. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, you're positive. It's like a carnival tiger.
Sick. Don't open that. I'm sorry that I misled you. Don't open that.
In my heart of hearts, I have always wished to have a large cat as companion, but I feel like this is not the one for me. When it's meant to happen, it will happen.
That's right. And this cat may yet come back to be important in our journey. But it's not important right now.
In nature, Bagamo, the natural prey of tigers are, in fact, crumpet witches.
I thought it was other tigers, but that's a better one.
So with this mystery potentially dispelled, I begin to make motions to continue our patrol if no one else has any additional investigation, or unless anybody wants to let loose and make friends with this feline.
I would like to know primarily, what did we come out here for?
Just to look around the village, pretty much.
We've gathered no intel.
Well, we're working on it. We've only made it to the stockyard so far.
All right. Well,
you saw a toy maker shop, you saw a coffin maker shop, and you saw the stockyards.
Right. I think we just need to press on through the carnival, see what we can see.
There's not a carnival. There's just a cart.
Okay. Sounds like we
carnival cart.
Yep.
Sounds like we may be pressing on for the moment. Now that we've
sounds more like a Dippin' Dots cart to me.
Yeah, it is. It's like a Dippin' Dots cart. You want a picture of it?
That's a much better description.
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you a picture of it. Hang on. Let me turn off my virtual background here, just so you can see.
We're wasting time.
Here's the picture of it. If you look at my screen, you'll see.
I see it. Yeah,
that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, I don't want
sitting in the stockyards. It has a snarling thing inside of it.
Yep. Well, that is terrifying, and we should move on from that. I feel like we know where our main interest lies, and that's in stopping the windmill. We know that there are many roads that hit a what do you call it? A confluence or whatever. A lot of roads come together, a crossroads, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Near the windmill. And if we want to figure out what is going on with that, and that is our main objective, then we should move out that way and observe.
I do not disagree. And hopefully I am half hoping that we actually come across the witch going about her rounds as we make our patrol.
Right.
That-
I
that
think
could-
I know that you and Bagmo both really, really, really want that.
Well, at the very least, we'll know where to find her if we decide to make a plan, even if
Yeah,
we don't do anything tonight.
If we see her, I just don't imagine there's a scenario where Bagmo doesn't just lurch out of whatever place we're hiding in and try
I
to.
can control
But
myself.
maybe, I mean, up to this point, Bagmo, what discipline have you shown?
So, Bagmo, I make you a bet here, or I make you a promise. If we find the witch, we will go back and we will get the tiger, and then we will unleash the tiger upon the witch.
I really feel like we should use our animal handling, but like leaving the tiger. Do you think we could coerce? I mean, do you think we could close out this session by coercing the tiger to join our party? I mean, John, sorry, Urgoth, you are a fire genosi, which I feel like should resonate well with tigers.
I am a
And you
veterinarian.
have great animal handling skills. If we could be accompanied by a tiger as we go on our journeys, I do feel like that would be quite worth it. What does everybody else? How's everybody else feel?
If I could have a tiger, oh man,
It's all you've ever wanted?
I didn't know how much until this moment, but I am scared of opening it and letting it out. And if we steal it, they seem very fond of putting people in the stocks here.
Oh, we wouldn't steal it. We would convince the tiger to come along with us.
I can't save those children if I'm locked up in the stocks.
That's true.
I would be willing to use my veterinary skills to attempt to make friends with this animal.
Yeah, I mean,
if that's what y'all want to do.
We're not going to capture this animal and bring it along with us. We will invite this animal to join our party. You know, and I think maybe sweeten the pot a little by saying that we have someone that knows his way around an animal body, has healed one or two, or maybe even one in his life.
You know, all that growling may just be he may have a thorn in his paw.
You know, could be a thorn in the paw, could be gas, could be the wrong diet.
So what do you do?
What we could do is we could just, perhaps against this tiger's will, drug it with one of those dream pies.
Oh my God. What would that do to an animal?
That seems to have worked other times when people have been drugged with pies.
But do we want to do that to an animal though? Well, but he would be high. He wouldn't be of any use to us, right?
He would not be any help, but I mean, like he's probably intimidating unless he was blowing like snot bubbles or something.
Right. But see, you're thinking only at the moment. Bert Beasley is like, look, he'd become a drug addict, and then we could have this drug addict tiger.
He could become a friend. I mean, we have a very adept animal handler here.
As a practitioner of the veterinary arts, I cannot get behind drugging the animal with what we have established is a not good substance.
Okay.
I think that's been established off screen.
I
don't know for sure that everybody here knows about what happens if you slip someone a Mickey with dream cakes. Obviously, everyone playing the game does, but the other characters, I don't know. So this would be like a novel idea pitched by Urgoth. And so it's a natural discussion, I feel. But I'm obviously very silent. Not really committal one way or the other as to what might happen if we slip this jungle cat dream cake.
Tell you what, I suggest that we complete our patrol, and if we see a situation where a jungle cat may prove beneficial, we can loop back around and get him.
That's what we should do, for sure.
That's my vote.
for sure.
Okay.
In
Where
the
are you guys
meantime,
going?
maybe we'll happen upon the witch.
All right. As you continue your walk through town, the last thing that you sort of notice as you're sort of looking around, you do come across what what would be most obviously you recognize as the Burgomaster's mansion, which is a looks like a 3-story edifice, with a couple of sort of like column-like structures on the outside, and it has signposts around it that say, "All will be well." And it's clearly the Burgomaster's mansion. But as you're walking around on the outskirts of town, closer to where the original church were, you find what is clearly the largest house in town, bigger than the Burgomaster's mansion. And it has a sign hanging outside of the swinging gates that says Watcher House. Wachter, Watchter House. Haus. Watchter House. And that is clearly the largest house in town.
Perhaps the mother of the drunken fellows who don't like to work are there.
And it is clearly a residence.
So they're really not thugs. They're just brats.
Correct.
Yep. You can see the church in the distance and the road leading out of town.
Very interesting.
Nice.
There are other houses that, have mostly turned in for the evening. We should not have a blacksmith hammering.
No sign of a
That's the night owl.
Of a pie selling witch, correct?
The name of
no signs of a pie selling witch.
Blacksmithery is the night owl.
Yeah, there's no pie selling witch.
Okay, well, very interesting.
Bert Beasley proposes perhaps we go back to our room and then we strike out early tomorrow on the road between the windmill and the town and lie in wait for this witch.
Okay.
I concur.
Right.
Yes.
You return to the room, and Ulrich welcomes you back to the bar. It is quiet now, as things have really turned late. And he says, turning in for the evening, I see.
We are indeed. We're looking forward to our nice rooms.
Well, there are still a few people drinking in the bar. He says, here are your keys. You may take the steps outside to the second floor, where you will find your rooms, and I'll take you back to the bar scene. And are you guys just all turning in?
Yes, for sure.
Well, here's where I'm in a pickle.
Wet Rock is going to have one more drink before turning in.
The two like hooligan brats are gone.
Bagmo said this is tough. I need to know why.
Well, I don't know if I should try and go to sleep tonight. Last night I asked all of you to wake me up, and that didn't happen. And then somehow I collapsed after drinking a healing potion, and as I slept, the witches gave me something foul. And so, should I sleep? Should I not sleep? I don't know what to do.
And
none of you seem able to follow simple directions, honestly.
Ooh. Interesting. Could
No
you
shade.
could you lay down and relax? Would that be restful?
Maybe I could have a nap, but not try and sleep all night.
That
Bert
sounds fair.
Bert Beasley
I think it would be
promises
prudent to keep a watch anyway.
to wake you up if you're having bad dreams.
But what if you're sleeping, Bert Beasley?
Perhaps we could take turns waking you up if you're having bad dreams, but actually do it this time. You know, Bert
Oh,
Beasley's
boy.
willing to admit that he made errors previously, and this time, you know, will not repeat them.
Obi-Wan's shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And yet, I'm
Okay,
a trusting soul.
we're going to fast forward so that we can get to a closing scene here. You're able to do that through the night. Bagmo does have bad dreams. You're able to wake her 3 times during your 3 separate watches, and Bagmo, you get a long rest.
Hallelujah.
The next morning arrives, and you all, I assume, are setting out to try and lay ambush at the windmill.
Somewhere between the windmill and town, but not very close to the windmill to try to avoid.
So somewhere between the windmill and Barovia.
Yes.
I wanted to have one more interaction with the bartender, which is why I said I would have one more drink before bed.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to save that for when we
come back.
We'll be back.
And then we can wet our whistles.
You make your way back to the gallows that are sort of outside of Barovia. You know she would have to come this way, and you saw the gallows before where you saw yourself hanging, Wet Rock, and you're able to sort of set up shop there. And I'll bring you all there now, and you can tell me how you're laying in wait.
For what?
Or what you're doing exactly.
Yes.
I thought we were. Oh, sorry.
I'm just selecting.
Skylar.
I'm selecting for you to save like time, and I have a map ready at this location.
Yeah.
The outside of Barovia, there are the gallows. So if you're looking for a place between Barovia and the windmill, that's where you go.
Super. We'd like to find somewhere to hide, you know, near the road with good views, but you know, not easily spotted, to lie in wait for this witch.
Yeah. This is close enough to Barovia that you know she would have to head this way. You cross back over the waterfall. You pass by Castle Ravenloft. And then near the Vistani Cap, it is a day's walk before you make your way there. You pass by the turnoff to the windmill. And by the time you reach the crossroads towards Barovia, it is probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you guys are here now.
Cool.
So you assume she's already made her way to Barovia.
Sure. Would we like to be on this hill here? Perhaps we could, you know, hide on the hill with a good view, or we could just go to these woods and hide in the trees.
Okay.
Trees it is.
That's up to you. Let me change the soundscape really quick because you all are somewhere else. Let's see here. We are
at a Sims orgy.
Yeah, so it would seem. The sound is just slow.
This is the buffet before the orgy.
I'm trying.
Oh. Ooh.
Sorry. That was spooky.
Yeah, somebody slammed the top down on top of the piano.
Hell yeah. And there was a whole body in there.
Yeah. All right. You guys are outside of outside of the village of Barovia. Can't find the stupid music. Oh well, no music. Doesn't matter. You guys are out there. You're setting up on hills and things.
These woods, it looks like.
Yeah, we're kind of setting up in places where we can view the road, but hopefully not be seen from people walking on the road.
Here we are. Okay. All right. As you're sort of set up in the woods, Bogmo, you put your character where you're going to be, and same for you, Wet Rock. Same, everybody's over the woods.
I didn't even see my character.
All right. You're right here.
Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit.
You're right here, Wet Rock.
I see. I want to put myself somewhere.
Yeah, just wherever your character would be hiding.
Okay.
It just may matter for sort of mechanical purposes wherever you choose to be.
I'm a good climber, so I get in the tree.
Okay. You get up in a tree. After some period of time, a old woman pushing her cart, you recognize her, appears walking down the road. Gradually pushing her cart. This is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you see her. You indeed recognize her. And it's slowly trying to load her into the system. But she's there and hasn't made much notice of you. What do you do?
Well,
Roll20 is locked up. It's trying.
I do not want to alert her to my presence at all.
I don't know what's
But
happening.
I wanna try
Roll20
to-
is trying.
I want to try to be stealthy.
Okay. So are you going to try to approach her stealthily, or are you just trying to hide?
I'm trying to hide. I guess maybe insight. Maybe, I try to see if it looks the exact same way as I remember seeing.
Sure, roll perception.
Okay, perception.
You're looking at her.
Yeah, I'm rolling it. Sucks. Critical fail.
The way she moves is inhuman looking. It's odd.
Yeah.
That's
Let me do a Constitution roll.
Okay.
Maybe not a save.
Are you going to vomit?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if this thing is going to really roll me or not. Is it a save?
You can roll insight. You can roll insight. Insight.
Yeah.
You're trying to deduce, is this thing more powerful than me?
Yeah.
By yourself, might roll you. With its comrades, might roll you. With your crew, you've fought tough things.
Okay. All right.
Should
I think that's the extent of what I want to deduce.
Bert Beasley feels like, the switch is alone. It's here. We're here. Why not strike while the, insurance sales sheet is still hot?
Before we jump in, you said that we noticed that she's moving kind of strangely.
Yeah.
Oh, she's moving very strangely.
Is there something
I noticed that? I don't know if everybody else did.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Is that something?
Yeah, it's obvious.
Is there anything that my medical knowledge can kind of deduce here, potentially? To give a little bit more detail on that?
She's not human.
Okay, so I guess I share that you know how I told you earlier that those ravens weren't ravens? This witch, whatever, she's not human. I can medically tell you that she is not. All of my experience repairing war horses tells me that that is not a human.
It was stop her.
Are we ready to attack?
Should someone else besides me roll insight? Someone that is noticing more, maybe more important things.
Bagamo, this witch has had you all a tangle. If you decide to make this your moment, I'll have your back.
All right.
Is that witch?
Let's roll out, crew.
Oh.
What do you do?
She's about, let's see, how far away is she? I'm going to let her get a little closer.
Okay.
And she's coming down the road.
And gets to about here where the bend is about to be, where it would take her sort of down another path.
Does no one care that this thing is not human?
Well,
we know that.
Yeah.
She has powers.
Well, I mean, don't humans have powers in this world? I mean,
not like
can.
that.
Okay.
And what do you do? And what do you do,
Bugger? Point out that actually, none of us are in fact human.
True.
In this present party.
That's true. No humans here.
That's a good point.
No. that doesn't really strike him as anything. He might be more weirded out if it was a human.
What I should say is that she is an aberration of some sort. It is unnatural. Not that she's not human.
Right.
But whatever she is unnatural.
Not what she appears to be.
I guess what I took that as, saying that whatever form she's projecting as, or the witch is projecting as, is not the true form. And I mean, that's really what I'm trying to get back around to. We're cool attacking, and we don't know the true form.
I mean, she kidnaps children and turns them into pies. So
all right.
Okay,
so obviously the worst character in the entire.
All right,
tell me when, and I've got a scorching ray ready to go.
Let's see. Is each square 5 feet?
Yes.
Okay, I run up. I'm in range.
She looks at you square in the face as you run up. And you can see that her eyes are unblinking and whited over. And she says, "Oh, I see you come." Constitution save. You cast Shatter on her. Roll me initiative. Let me make sure it's clear, but I'll make her con save.
Everybody needs to roll you initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Roll initiative. Oh, she fails it. Rolls a 12. I need to clear the initiative tracker clearly. It didn't ever clear. Dang it. Roll 20 is so slow that you think it's clear, but it's not. Alright. I'm just going to have to do you manually.
Do we just roll it again, or what?
Yeah, you just roll it again. You're cool with that.
Well, I'm definitely cool with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Roll20. It's running so slow, it's almost unusable.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine just doesn't do it.
Nothing's showing up in Roll20 for me.
Okay, well, I'll add you all manually. I'll take your first rolls if they were better.
I mean, it's
So
showing up here in the chat, but it just isn't tabulate.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Roll20 is not working.
It's the witch.
It's working to a point, but it's not.
Urgoth, where's your character?
It's not working for DM.
I don't even see you, Urgoth.
Oh, I disappeared. I didn't even notice that. I was like right here, and apparently I just vanished.
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened.
You saw a fight was coming, and you.
Well, that's what happens when you roll a 17 in initiative, you badass.
Urgoth, your first initiative roll was what, a 5?
Now you're hovering 10 foot over, but we're getting a slice through this world at 5 feet.
All right, we're about to wrap this up in
I
just
do
a
not
second.
recall, so we'll say it was a 5. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Bogmo rolled an 8.
Mm-hmm. Urgoth rolled a 17 in initiative.
No, that was Bert Beasley.
Bert Beasley rolled a
got
17. And let's see here. Wet Rock's first roll was.
My first roll was a 12. Second was a 14.
All right, we're gonna go with a 12. It doesn't matter. They're gonna be the same.
I'm fine with it. It's no problem.
12. And Arena is with you. She's still traveling with you. I'm gonna roll her initiative.
We have totally forgotten about her.
She's been with you the whole time.
I know. She's like been in a sleeping bag on Bagmo's back.
She's like Shrubwad.
Rolled well, though. I mean, really well. That's excellent.
And if she dies, and that's just one quest taken off the list. So.
Yep. We didn't really know what to do with her anyway, so.
Very true.
Maybe she saves one of us.
Bugmo, you do 11 thunder damage to her.
1,100 damage?
That's
11
what
thunder
I
damage.
heard 1,100.
Okay. I was like, okay, so Skylar, I'm not alone. I thought this man said you do 1,100 damage.
That's what I heard
like,
too.
It's
in the record.
If only I could.
It's just a crater.
All right. Arena only has a rapier, and she is not interested in running up on this thing. So she's going to take the hide action and sort of hide behind a tree. The hag is up. And the hag, oh boy. God, what is going on? Roll 20. My God. What's the hag gonna do?
All right.
We're about to wrap this up. We're not going to go much longer here. Yeah, the hag is going to. Okay, she points her finger at you, Bagamo, and says no. And make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Bagamo, you save. Bert Beasley, you're up.
Bert Beasley. Let's see here. There's speed and how fast are you? Bert Beasley is going to hurl a javelin
Okay.
at the witch.
That's a hit.
But I guess it's it's a hit. And that's it for his turn, I guess.
Okay. Wet Rock, you're up.
All right, crossbow bolt from the tree. I have 80 feet of range on that, so we should be good.
Okay.
I'm rolling.
Oh, hang
And
on.
it sucked.
That's a miss.
Yep.
I have to
Boggle.
roll that with disadvantage. So let me see if it actually. Okay. Did a 14 hit?
14 does not hit.
Okay, then I didn't need.
Okay. Bogmo, you're up.
Hold the dead.
Okay. 16.
Yeah. That doesn't work.
Man, this shit right now is sounding like the last Matrix movie. Not the most recent one, but the third one in the trilogy.
All right.
The one where they had
Urgoth.
the orgy in the cave?
I didn't see that one. Urgoth, you're up.
Okay.
Skipped that one.
Man, you missed out. There was an orgy in a cave, bruh.
Okay, so I move up, and I believe I understand the mechanics here of Scorching Ray correctly. I create 3 rays of fire, and I hurl them at
boom,
one
boom, boom.
target or several.
You have to roll 3 times.
Yeah, and so let's
You
see.
did that on your first round, didn't you? Or did you? No, you did not.
No. So let's see how Beyond 20 does this. So I'm going to cast that.
First one is a miss.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's going to do it one at a time. So there we go.
Second one is a hit.
Okay. And is the 6 the damage roll?
Yep.
Okay. And so then we're going to do one more.
Third one is a hit for 3. You do 9 damage. And she lets out sort of a cackle as you hit her. Arena's up, who takes the hide action.
A cackle? That was
Yeah.
An invitation to tickle. Sorry, that's a weird thing to say.
She's up. And she looks at you all. And she pulls something out of her little satchel. And she says, "Oh, you've made a grave, grave mistake coming to me here. You all now are going to die." And she takes what she has in her hand and she brings her hands together and kind of smacks it. And you hear a tone just goes bing and lets out this horrible like ring that echoes through your ears, and it's piercing. It almost makes you want to cover your ears. It's so loud. And the whole world sort of begins to shift and shake a bit. And you see her, and then she's sort of is shifting as like your vision is shifting. And like it's almost like her torso is separated from her like her legs, and then they're back together, and then like she's like in pieces, and it's like everything is sort of like moving in different directions at once in front of you, and then it just with all of a sudden goes and a bright light appears in front of you, and then she vanishes.
Well, at least she's mad at all of us now.
That's that Garmin Boza.
We've got her on the run. She knew she was toast.
I don't know, guys. This is some deep shit. The shit is deep.
Kirk Beasley would like to use his divine senses
Okay.
to see if he can detect if he's still within 60 feet.
Okay. Divine sense allows you to sense undead and
A
stuff like that.
celestial fiend or undead.
Okay. Bert. When she was here, your divine sense is always on. When you saw her, you were the first one to recognize her because she is a fiend. And you could feel her approaching from down the road. You could feel the fiendishness coming off of her. After she's done whatever she did and struck whatever it was in her palm that let out the ringing sound, your divine sense, she is gone.
Okay. Teleporting. Didn't see that one coming.
Well,
See. Oh,
we're obviously outgunned, outmanned, and out hit pointed, but we're plowing through nonetheless. And I love each and every one of you, and I'll wish us the best. Hope for the
We'll
best.
figure out what happens. We'll figure out what happens next time when we come back to Curse of Strahd.
That's right. All right. I'm having a great time, guys. Love y'all.
Good
Bye-bye.
night,
I hope you
everybody.
guys are. I'm glad y'all are having fun. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Later.
Later.